Let's make sure everyone's here. Want to make sure that you guys don't get cut off. All right. Hey guys, Garrett Brian, and we are finally, and I mean finally, live on YouTube. And I'm happy to have you guys here. Today we're going to be giving you the best tips and advice that when it comes to working on cars. And feel free to leave your comments down below, and we'll go ahead and, of course, answer them as soon as we can. Now I'm going to kind of go on the main course. I have plenty of questions I have to ask you guys as well. Well, not ask you guys. I have to answer it that I've received from you guys. So I formulated all of it together so we can go ahead and get into it. So I'd like to say hi to all the people that are already here. So thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for liking my short form videos. I try to get as much info as I can for all of you guys out there. So it's just a pleasure to be here live with you guys. So really cool. Thanks for saying I have a nice PC. And my dad's here, so hi, Dad. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the first questions we actually had was, what made me want to become a mechanic? And I can tell you, it was a long, drawn-out story, but I just started kind of working on cars at a very young age. I got a project car when I was 16. It was a 1989 Toyota Corolla. Look at that. 1989 Toyota Corolla. And it didn't run, of course. I had plenty of problems going on with that car. So that kind of got me into working on cars. It was a big journey, trying to get it to run, got it to run. And that kind of inspired me and opened up the gateway to working on cars and wanting to become a mechanic. I didn't have much money to send my car to a mechanic. I ended up working on it and learning how to do it on my own, which is how I teach you guys videos now. And then I'm like, you know what? Why just work on cars? Let me work on it for a living. So that's kind of the route I took when I became a mechanic, how and why I started to become a mechanic. It was just from working on cars at like 16 and under. No, that was actually a different car. It was a red Corolla. Um, yeah. And the funny story is that this project car, it's not this exact one, but this project car I stole from my brother. My brother had a project car, the same exact project car, and it was a parts car. So I ended up taking that parts car so I can make it into my car, and I got it running with my dad and everything. And that's pretty much the origin of how I got introduced to physically working on cars. I always worked on cars at a young age because my dad was a car painter and stuff. But this is kind of how I got started on working on cars. So yeah, thanks for saying I have great tips and tricks, and I appreciate all the love that you guys show me. But yeah, and I actually wanted to review the polls and see how many of you guys, yeah, a lot of you guys have been working on cars for 5 to 10 years, it looks like. And a good amount of you have been working on cars for 2 to 5 years as well. So that's pretty cool. But thanks again for you guys being here. It kind of gives me a good idea of, what your guys' experience in this group is, how many people are like, well seasoned, and some people are just kind of getting into it. So overall, it's kind of nice to know. But right now I'm kind of going to dive into, as a question, feel free to ask as many questions as you can in the comments or live chat, because I'm going to answer them. So answer all the questions below, and I will do my best to go ahead and answer them. So as I answer those questions, as for fillers, I'll go ahead and I have, like I said, a good amount of questions I'm going to answer that you guys have left me in other video comments that are pretty important, like the routes of buying tools. When it comes to buying tools, whether you're a beginner mechanic, whether you're a DIY guy, whether you're whatever it may be, I'm going to go ahead and go into that. But let me actually answer one of the questions that you guys have. And actually, let me see if I could do it from my phone, because it might be easier to do it from my phone. Yeah, it's not easier to do it from my phone. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and answer you guys' question like this. All right. So how do I buy? DMR Orings. See, other YouTube creators have large. This we'll see. I'd say large diameter O-rings. I don't have too much more experience with BMW in a minute. That's a cool M3 though. But I'd say if you can go directly to the dealership, obviously that's the most iconic answer. I know there's my dad's actually under this video. I know there's a Euro site that sells genuine parts that can help you get, the proper O-rings that you're talking about. Have a set of large green AC O-ring. But I mean, a lot of places have generic O-rings as well that you can get. But if you're looking for genuine, like large diameter ones, I'd say go to BMW directly. And yeah. Okay. Now, so we got a comment from Javier, and it is, I am a mobile mechanic, and I've been a mobile mechanic for 3 years. When I'm on a job and something breaks or I'm stumped, or stumped, sorry, and oh fuck, I almost deleted the comment. I don't know every mechanic trick. How should I navigate this? So one of the biggest things, when I'm on a job and something breaks and I'm stuck. Okay, so one of the biggest things this is what I love showing and making videos for you guys. So one of the big things when you're working on cars and something happens where you break, let's say a bolt, or you snap a bolt, or where, let's say this bolt's stripping, it's in a very tight spot. The biggest thing that you got to realize is, what do you have at hand? Whether it's, what tools do you have at hand? What, like, you got to be self-aware of your surroundings, of what you are working on, and what tools that you have at your disposal. Now, that thing that I just said is how all of my videos reflect that. So there's a lot of situations where I may not have a tool. I may be in a situation where typically I could use a Torx and put or extractor socket and get that thing out, and I can't. The big thing is, you got to see what your options are on the chessboard. You got to see, what can I do and how can I do it. So sometimes utilizing your environment to your advantage can help you get through a situation. Sometimes stepping back and thinking at a different angle, you gotta really kind of try to tackle these at different angles. When it comes to working on cars, it's all about, thinking outside the box, because everybody can get an extractor socket on a strip bolt. It doesn't take a lot of brain power. If you don't have an extractor socket, but you have a metric, let's say metric or SAE sockets, boom. Or, let's say if you have, like, it's just kind of thinking your way out of the situations like that. And if you're a mobile mechanic, I've been a mobile mechanic for a good amount of time. Right now, I don't do it anymore. But being a mobile mechanic was a huge struggle, because a lot of times I had my stuff at the shop. I forgot, let's say, my torch, or I forgot something, and I had to make do with what I had. So again, when it comes to being a mechanic, especially a mobile mechanic, you gotta kind of think your way out of situations. But realize we're in 2025, so it's pretty easy to do that nowadays. Why I say that is because you don't have to just think it up all in your head. You can do it, how do I say, you can do it with other people's ideas. So let's say you're stuck on a strip bolt, you YouTube it, right? And you get a general idea of how many people removed a stuck bolt doing this method. And sometimes when you see someone do one method, that gives you another idea on how to do it a different way. So again, it's kind of being open-minded to different situations. You don't want to be very adamant on, okay, I can only use the proper tools, or I have to do this, but I need a proper tool. No, you got to get out of that mindset. Like, another big origin on how I kind of became the mindset that I have as Garrett Bryan is, when I was 15 or younger, I forgot how old I was. I went to Puerto Rico, and my dad's dad had me work on brakes. When I did brakes, he's like, here's the tools to do the brakes. I'm like, where's the tools? Like, where's the proper tool? Like, we were missing a good amount of tools that you'd use for a brake job. And then he was like, everything you need is right there. And it kind of made me think outside the box. So I was, huh? And so it's, like, for example, using doubling on a wrench and using it like that, or like using a wrench as leverage on another tool. So that incident kind of opened up something in me where it's like a lot of times proper tools aren't going to be available. In Puerto Rico, a lot of the tools I needed to do a job were not there. So being able to essentially get that experience from not only my grandfather, but my dad did the same as well. So like, you know, when I came back to the States, which obviously Puerto Rico is the territory, when I came back to, you know, my state that I'm in to work on my project car, I kind of got to apply that through my dad as well, because my dad gave me a set amount of tools on what to work on, you know, what he had available, and we just kind of got to it. Like a lot of the things that I've learned as Gearhead Brian are from a lot of other people. You know, a lot of like learning from me, my experience, learning from my dad, learning from my grandfather, learning from my uncle who's a master mechanic, learning from a bunch of different people, learning from school, you know, a bunch of different people. I just kind of absorbed it as a sponge, you know. When you are working on cars, you don't want to be dead set and it's only one way. If you think like that, you're never going to get that far on working on cars, or you're always going to get stuck in problems where you have to leave the car later, gear dead, where you have to essentially. I lost my train of thought because of that, but essentially, you always kind of want to get in the mindset where you're thinking outside the box. You don't want to stay in a small mindset where you can't think of other things. Why I make these videos for you guys is because I want to show you guys there's multiple different ways to do something. There's a different way to do sway bar links. I can tell you 10 different ways to do sway bar links if it doesn't come off with fire scripts. You know, you gotta be open-minded, you know? So let me, now that I answered that one question, just to let you guys know, it might be, it's, you know, it might take me a minute to go through a lot of the questions because I didn't expect getting this many questions. But, all right, let's go ahead and... Okay, so what this Dave has a question, and essentially the question is, if I install a new AC compressor, is there a way to evacuate the system without buying the equipment? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I've done this a good amount of times where I didn't have the proper equipment. Essentially, I'd get some, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not the best way. I'd get something like this, or I'd get like one of the stem extractors, and I'd slowly extract it out through there, let all the freon out, all the air out. Essentially, I'll get, let me actually show my pick because I can't see. What I'll do is get a pick. My uncle, my old school uncle showed me this. So you'll get a pick like this. You'll go to the high pressure stem, and essentially you'll click it until it starts leaking all the freon out. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but we don't have equipment, so this is what we do. So you'll get this, you'll click it, wear safety glasses, just, or be aware, or, you know, be away from it. You'll click it and you'll let all the freon out until like you don't hear any air come out, like no air, no freon, of course, but you don't want to hear no air. Once you do that and you hear there's no air even hissing out, that's when you can, you know, go ahead, once the AC compressor's in, add your freon in, and, you know, you're good. So that's the old school way that I did it. And he did it back then when I didn't have the equipment for it. But I'm glad I had this on me. But this is really nice. This is actually from Vim Tools. Yeah, hope that helps. See, you get that. Yeah, it is illegal in a lot of places just because, yeah, it is bad for the environment. You know, just like draining oil into the ground and coolant and stuff of that nature. But it's okay. You know, it's okay. Just don't get caught. Be mindful, you know. But yeah, earning. All right. Saludos. All right, let's go to the next question, you guys. This is my first time live streaming, so my bad. In a good minute, I mean. All right, so, oh, frick. The automotive jobs do not recommend. What automotive jobs do you not recommend, and are they relatively the same? What automotive job do you not recommend, or are they relatively? I mean, I don't know what you mean by automotive jobs. Do you not recommend? So, like, I mean, if we're talking just in the industry, anything automotive, I mean, being a lube, you know, if you're just starting out as a mechanic or wanting to start working on cars, being a lube tech is a good route to go. You know, starting as an automotive technician or a lube tech is perfectly fine. You know, I'd recommend it. That's how I started. You know, I started, you know, when I wasn't working on my own cars. Oh, repair jobs, I mean. Okay, so thank you for clarifying. So repair jobs, what I wouldn't recommend, if you're a novice and you're just starting to work on cars, I would stay away from a lot of the big jobs. So what I mean is, like, if you're, you know, if you're just starting out and you're doing brakes, you've done spark plugs, you've done this. When it gets into bigger jobs like a clutch job or an engine swap, you know, like stuff like that, you want to kind of you want to stray away from. If you're a beginner, don't get me wrong, if it's your garage or your car and you have time to spare and it's not under a time limit, if you can tackle it. A lot of the jobs that I started as, like, you know, a lot of the jobs that I didn't know how to do, I had to do them. So what, you know what I mean? Like, what I mean is I broke down on my way home from work. The clutch was shot, right? And I had to, you know, let's say, you know, when I was young, I didn't know how to do a clutch. I was 16, 17, whatever. Didn't know how to do a clutch. Had to do my first clutch because I couldn't afford to pay a mechanic to do it. That was a very hard clutch to do. That was like one of the hardest to date. One of the hardest clutches to do was on my 1989 Toyota Corolla. That clutch is so annoying to do. If you know, you know, because it's so freaking annoying the way it's orientated. Even though it's accessible at certain part, it's so annoying. But anyway, nonetheless, yeah. Another thing, I saw a timing belt. You wanna, like, timing belts aren't as bad. You want, if you can, look as many videos as you possibly can with timing belts. The one of the big things is the timing belt. Like, is it, how do I say it? On some engines, it's interference engines and non-interference engines. So if a timing belt snaps, the non-interference engine, it won't make contact if the belt snaps. And nothing will break. Valves won't hit the pistons, whatever, right? But if you have an interference engine and you're doing a timing belt, if you're off by a little bit, you're going to mess up a valve. You're going to bend valves. You got to get it right. But I want to say with timing belts, it's a lot easier to get it right. I don't remember a bad timing belt I did. It was one, actually. I think it was actually my first non-80s timing belt. It was on a 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Hey, my dog's barking, sorry. Mitsubishi Eclipse. And essentially, it was my first legit modern timing belt to do. Hey, come here. Timing belt to do. And essentially, oh my God, my dad was in Puerto Rico. I was like, I'm going to do this nice thing for him. I was still starting to work on cars. I was not yet a mechanic, you know, so I was still young. And I was doing a timing belt. I put it all together. I was proud. And now I waited till he got back. And then when he got back, you know, I was like, hey, let's start this thing up, right? We tried to start it. It doesn't want to start. I was like, I feel like something's wrong with this timing belt, man. Something's wrong. And then my dad's like, no, keep cranking it. Keep cranking it. I was like, okay, we'll keep cranking it. I feel like it's off timing, you know? And then we ended up cranking the car. We kept trying to crank it. Blah! Fire came out from, I think, the intake. I don't know where it was. Fire just came out because it was on wrong timing and we're trying to make it start. And that thing just caught fire for a second. I was like, oh crap. We, you know, put it out and whatever. And then, you know, my master mechanic uncle came by and he was like, you guys bent valves on this Eclipse. And it was hilarious. It was just a scenario of what could go wrong. Obviously, this is drastic. It's not what exactly could go wrong, but it's just an example of what can go wrong. So, I mean, just as long as you look at videos, as long as you look online, and you get an idea of how you need to line it up, it's not too hard to do a timing belt. You know, when it gets into those bigger engines, that's when it gets a bit harder. You know, on the bigger V6, but on 4 cylinders, it's really freaking easy. Even on some of the V6, it's pretty easy. It's just accessing them is the annoying part, you know? So, all right, let me go to the next question. Again, sorry, guys, just be patient with me. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. A lot of the questions come in really quick, so a lot of them I might not be able to see. Let me look. What do you think? Okay, you've been working on, so this is a SRT's question. What do you think of me starting a mobile starting as a mobile mechanic. I'm 17 and I've been working on cars for 4 years. I'm proud of you, bro. That's one thing. That is really freaking cool. If you're 17, and you're very self-aware, go for it, man. You know what I mean? I started working on cars on the side, like doing mobile mechanic work. I want to say it was like 19, maybe 19, no. Like maybe around 19, 20. Let's just paraphrase. 19 or 20. But yeah, if you're very self-aware, you're very confident in your skills, you have a lot under your belt, and you think that you can, be well at being a mobile mechanic, by all means, go for it, man. Honestly, the cool thing is, like, let's say somebody asks you on doing work as a mobile mechanic, all you're gonna do, they'll tell you the job that it is, right? You'll just check out the car. Okay, let's say it's a clutch on a Impreza, right? Now you can look up this Impreza. You have time to do your thing. You check it out. You see if you're able to do it. You're like, all right, I checked out the job. The job might be this amount of time. It might take, it might be a pain in the butt if I do this, if I do that. Map it out, and if you think you're confident in doing it, go ahead and tackle it. That's one thing you want to go ahead and do. But if you're confident in your abilities and you are a problem solver, go for it. Being a mobile mechanic requires you to be kind of a big problem solver, because it's a little bit different than being in a shop, because stuff does not go the way it needs to go a lot of the times, even worse than in the shop. Why? Because you're working on the street, you're on the ground, on the concrete, working. Like, it's rough on your body, and it makes the problems even more annoying. Wind comes in, rain comes in, stuff gets annoying really quick. So if you want to be a mobile mechanic, go for it, man. You know what I mean? And the big thing is, you can just start doing it. Just start doing it, realize if it's for you or not, and you can stop anytime you don't want to, continue doing it. So just one big thing to think about, so go for it, man. That's my answer to that. Okay, next question. Again, thank you guys for joining, and thanks for a lot of the sweet comments of you guys saying, that you love my videos. And we gotta meet the dog. I'll show you in a bit. Simba, come here. My people want to meet you. All right, yeah. Thanks for saying my videos are epic, Richard. And yeah, you guys are really cool, man. Oh, this is my dog, Simba. Simba, look at him. That is my dog, Simba. Me and Simba are going to look. He's like, what are you doing with me? Me and Simba are gonna look at the question. At what point do you stop fixing a car and get rid of it? Give me your personal opinion. I have that. Okay, so I have gone through that where I've fixed a car. Okay, buddy, you're gonna go down. Where I fixed the car, and it was just a lemon. It was a most recent one was I'm trying to think what car it was. It was a I feel like, it was a '99 Civic. I forgot what year it was. But man, I just had problems back to back with it, and when it comes to, if you keep throwing on it on a weekly basis, like something keeps breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking, it might be time to look at another car. And it just depends on how drastic it is. For me, the first thing that went on my car was the clutch was shot on a Honda I had. Clutch was bad. I went to drive it home, the clutch disc broke or whatever. I had to limp it home in only like a few gears. I got it back, did the clutch in the parking lot, all that crap. And then after that, I drive, I fixed it. Second gear went out, or no, was it second, third, or fourth? One of the gears went out. And I'm like, crap. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to fix that. I was like, all right, cool. I fixed that. Then it started overheating issues. So I fixed the head gasket, redid the head gasket. Like a week or two later, same overheating issue happens. And then I go back down, I put OEM gasket. Valve breaks. It's just thing after thing after thing. And man, that one, it got to the point where it was the piston rings were bad on it, So I did clutch, I did the gears, I did head gasket twice. I replaced the valve broke. I resurfaced the head. I did the suspension all around, front and back, everything, And then the piston rings were leaking. Guess what I did? I rebuilt the engine. I replaced the piston rings and gaskets, man. And guess what? A week later, I blew the engine on that car. It started leaking. Like, I went home from work, out of nowhere, it leaked all the fluid out. Blew the engine on the way home, and then I sold it. So sometimes you just gotta fight your battles. If it's a lot of drastic big things like engine and transmission, maybe start getting rid of it. If it's stuff like your suspension is going out or your coils, or maybe keep and the accident. Yeah, the accident was messed up. But maybe keep going. If it's light stuff, tackle it. Sometimes some cars are just abused so much that they need the maintenance. They just need the maintenance. A lot of people don't maintain their cars and they need it. It just adds up. But if it's a lot of drastic stuff like engine and transmission, forget about it. Just start thinking about selling it and try to avoid it. That's coming from me being a mechanic. I do all my work on my cars. But imagine for you, for me, it was already annoying and expensive and time consuming. But let's say if you're not doing the work yourself and you're taking it to a shop, get rid of it. You don't want back-to-back problems, So, yeah. I'm glad it helps, man. I'm really glad it helps, And Top Goody, no problem, man. I appreciate you guys, and thank you, Corey. I appreciate you guys, and I'm glad you guys are here in the live. Where's the Born Into It option for the survey? Yeah, Born Into It's definitely one of them. It's definitely one of them. I was definitely caught the bug to working in cars, man, at a young age. Take care of a brake line leak with minimal tools. Okay, so in a pinch, this is a really good tip. You guys put your headphones up, volume up. So Tony said, essentially, if you're in a pinch, what do you do? Like, if your brake line is leaking, you're in a pinch, you don't have proper tools, what do you do? This is a very big thing that you want to listen. Now, I've done this 3 times. 1, when I was very young. 2, 3 years back. When I had a 1989 Toyota Corolla, I was driving at home to my brother, actually. And out of nowhere, brakes went to the floor. I almost hit a bus. I'm downshifting, trying to avoid the cars, And I get into a neighborhood and, hey, buddy, come here. My bad, guys. I'm trying to avoid hitting a bus, and I did it. I avoided whatever. Anyway, getting to the point. Brake line was shot. I did not have money to tow the car. This was, Brian back then was really, 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 really broke. So I needed to make it home. I'm 30 minutes away. So what you do is you get cutting pliers. And I mean cutting pliers, literally cutting pliers, right? And all you're going to do is you're going to jack up the car and you're going to find that brake line. Whatever brake line that's damaged, that's rotted out, right? And then you're going to get that brake line that's rotted out. You're going to find where the leak's at. And essentially right before the leak, he is trying to go bark at the door. But once you find where it's leaking, you get the cutting pliers and you pinch it really hard. Not to the point where you're about to cut it, but damn near about to cut it with the cutting pliers. And what will happen is that it won't want to leak. Hey, buddy, come here. It won't want to leak past that part of the brake line. Essentially what you're doing is you're sealing that part off with the cutting pliers. And essentially that'll let you limp it home, because that was on my right rear. My right rear brake line was out, and I pinched that, and I limped it home. And then I didn't have money to replace the brake line either at the time, so I got I blocked that right rear caliper off for like a week until I could get enough money. If there's no brake pad material on a caliper, is there no brake pad material? Can a caliper leak from the boot? What? If there's no brake pad material, can a caliper leak from the boot? Okay, maybe rephrase that question for me, because I was a little bit confused by that. You're imagining my example. Yeah. So, like I said, essentially I was just, you crimp the line very tight to the point where no fluid can go past that brake line, and then essentially it'll hold pressure. And, it's not going to utilize that line anymore, but it's not also going to leak. And then you just bleed the system really quick, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I did that like 3 times back in the day. But yeah. Let me go ahead and answer your next question. Again, thanks to you guys for all the love. Top 15 tools that speed up a mechanic's work. Okay, I'll try to say as many as I can. 15's a lot, but I'll say as many as I can off the top of my head, just because it's a little bit up. It's a little bit up there. Okay, so first, number one, electric ratchet is going to drastically, and I mean drastically, speed up the process. Drastically. Now, when I first started working on cars as a lube tech, I'm like, man, no, I like hand tools. I'll just do this. I like feeling it. No. Once you start working on cars for a long time, electric ratchet is the way to go. It speeds up the process by a lot. When I mean a lot, you get electric ratchet. If you can't afford an expensive one, you don't have to get the most expensive one. You can get one on Amazon. I have one linked down below. Well, not in this video. I'll link it at the end of the video. But I have it linked on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel description, I have a Linktree link. And that Linktree shows all the tools that I recommend you guys that I have in my arsenal that I bought personally, or similar options, you know, because sometimes some tools aren't available, but I'll list similar options if they're out of stock, you know. But electric ratchet's definitely up there on the list. So it doesn't have to be an expensive one. Get a cheap one on Amazon for like 70 bucks, right? And I have a link for that, you know. And then if you want to go up, you can go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee has great ones, you know. I have Mako. Mako has great ones too, you know. If you can get one for cheap, that's even better. Snap on, you know, if you can find it used. But yeah, so electric ratchet is number one. Number two, when somebody said in the comments below, is I believe he said Milwaukee's 29. Let me see, 29. Where is it? 29 live chat. Where is it? Milwaukee, yeah, 2767. I think that's the one I have. I don't remember. But having an electric impact gun is the number two thing that you need that will speed up the process by a lot. Having hand tools isn't enough, especially if you're a mechanic. You need electric tools or air tools, whichever it may be. If you want to do air, if you want to do electric, whichever floats your boat is fine. But you need one of the two, because that's going to cut your time down by a lot. Like electric ratchet and the impact gun is necessity. Even if you don't get the electric ratchet, impact gun, number one thing that you need if you're a mechanic. Now, if you're a DIY guy, it still helps drastically. It will make your project a lot quicker. I also have links to those down below. Again, not below, but in my YouTube channel description. Now, impact, electric ratchet. Next, electrical disconnect pliers. I say this a lot in my videos, and I will say it forever. They are worth absolutely every penny. And you could just get the generic ones. Generic ones are like, what, $15? Under $15 or $10. Game changer. They make disconnecting pliers quick and easy. You guys got to get them. The number one thing that you need if you're doing a lot of wiring harnesses, if you're doing head gaskets, whatever, you have to disconnect a lot of wires. That helps drastically. But you have to be mindful. If stuff's very, very, very brittle, you realize you put very light pressure. Boop. Very light pressure, or maybe you have to do it by hand. Boop. But sometimes when something's this brittle, it's going to break no matter what. Yeah, disconnect connectors, like electrical connectors. So I don't know if I clarified. Yeah, electrical disconnect pliers helps disconnect them. I clean like a meme machine. My bad, real quick. So we got a super chat from my brother. Clean like a meme machine. Shout out to my buddies Type R. Hell yeah. Yeah, building on that, man. Hey, real quick note, real side note, guys. Just so you know on record now. Thanks to you guys, and as I continue to grow on YouTube, you're going to see me grow as high as I can. The goal is to get to 1 million, and that is my absolute goal. So, you know, I'm going to be up there, you know, get there as fast as I can. Hey, come here. And you're going to see me in a Type R very soon. Anyway, getting back to the electrical, the tools. So electrical disconnect pliers will cut time down drastically. So definitely getting that is going to help you. Now, next on the list I would recommend is having an extended ratchet. Now, an extended ratchet with a flex head is a game changer. And I mean game changer. You are going to maybe cough up a little money. It might be 30 bucks, 40 bucks, 50 bucks. But it is going to pay off in spades. you're going to get your stuff done a lot quicker, especially if you get the flex head one. Get the flex head extended ratchet. Don't get the regular extended. That's good, but it's way better to have the flex head. It's going to drastically change the name of the game. And I mean it, because a lot of these tools, I'm telling you, I'm like, I didn't need it. I don't need it. Why do I need that? And then I got it. I'm like, holy moly. This cuts down my time like by that, like in half, like literally in half, you know? And I'll say one more tool for this guy's question. I can't go, you know, I want to get everyone questions in there. So I'm going to do one more tool off of that list of your question was. So, and now the last tool that you absolutely need that I would highly recommend you guys getting is, drum roll, please. Okay, no. Stop. Quality sockets. So you want to get some nice quality, especially impact sockets if you're doing this in your profession, because it's going to help you drastically change the game. And if you can get swivel sockets for them, it's a game changer. You know, you want to get nice quality sockets. It doesn't have to be Snap-on. It doesn't have to be Matco. But having like CRMO sockets, chromoly sockets are going to be way better than having chrome vanadium. Chrome vanadium will crack. It transfers socket, the impact a lot less than chromoly. Chromoly is a lot stronger. It transfers it a lot better. It's a lot more durable. It doesn't warp as much in the face of it. It's nice. So get some nice quality sockets. Sunex sells some good sets. Caprice Tools sells some good sets. I have some. Matco. I don't have any Snap-on, so I wouldn't, you know, I mean, if you want to get them, get them. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go to the next question. I can't really let go of my dog because he wants to bark at the door. But let's go ahead and go to the next question. I'm buying a treat for the dog. Hey, all right, Simba, you got a treat from Sugarman11. Appreciate it, man. He is definitely getting a treat tonight. I got to go to Walmart after this live anyway. So, all right, let's try to go to the next question. Real quick, how extended are we talking? So that was Andrew Train's question. How extended are we talking? So let me see if I can find something of, I'd say like, okay, so regular ratchets are about, fudge. I can't find a good analogy. Okay, actually, yeah. Regular brokies are the real mechanic. Freaking. All right, so regulars are about like, I want to say I got the measuring tape. So regular ratchets are about, I want to say like about that much or that much, something like that. Now extendeds are about like almost like that much. Now the flex head part, well, probably like this. Flex head parts are probably right here, and then the rest is here. Now this is drastically going to help you out because the flex head actually helps you get into those awkward scenarios, and you could still break whatever loose. And keep in mind, extended ratchets are designed to take a lot more torque. Don't get me wrong, they're not a breaker bar, but they're the next step in between a ratchet and a breaker bar. Get extended ratchet, specifically Vim tools. I'm not saying that because I make money off of it, but I have Vim Tools extended ratchet, and it is my favorite one. I have like also tools, I believe. I have Capri Tools. I have Harbor Freight, all those flex head extended ratchets, and my favorite one's the Vim Tools one because it has comfort grip, and it's like the perfect in-between size, and it's a tank, guys. It's a tank. Let me go to the next question. All right, next question. Induction heat bolt buster tool. Yes, get it. Now, I don't have one because I've been too cheap to actually cough up the money. But induction heater tools are worth the money. They're usually around $200 to $170, maybe $150 if you could get a good deal. Essentially, what an induction heater tool is it's like a rod, and then you click it down, you put the heat, and it like inducts heat into a coil system. And essentially, instead of using a torch, which is messy, you could burn other things in the vicinity, this coil thing is focused. It's a focused like circle coil. And you could put it onto the bolt. You could heat up that bolt a lot quicker than you would on the torch. You know, a regular propane torch, of course. But I highly recommend it. I would get it. I don't have money to, I mean, I have money to get it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd be postponing it. Let's see. Let's see the next thing. That is okay. Thoughts about 2015 Nissan Titan. Titan, good. Are they good trucks? Personally, I've not messed with Titans, so I wouldn't know. But everybody in the live, if you can vouch for the Nissan Titan, let my buddy know. But I'm not sure if 2015's Titans are good. I've never messed with them. I haven't heard a lot of bad, and I haven't worked on them a lot, which could mean that they might not be a bad car. Usually, if I haven't worked on a car a lot, it usually means it's a good car, And thanks, conservative sniper hunter. He says he loves my working. To keep it up, I definitely will. And again, thank you guys for the kind of words, you guys. I love helping you guys as much as I can. Love making videos for you guys as much as I can. And thanks, the actor O2, for the super thanks. You're awesome. You're a real brother. Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it helps. And I'm glad it does, man. Hell yeah. Let's enter the next question, guys. Working on cars for 45 years is insane. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Also, 404 not found. Croil is definitely a really good penetrating oil. I've heard a lot of comments in it. A lot of you guys love Croil, and I have Croil. Croil is a good penetrating oil, Yeah, and one big thing before I answer the question, 404 not found. I've seen a lot of people use chrome in a shop. Now, just to, put it out there, guys. Chrome versus impact. You can use chrome sockets. I use chrome sockets all the time. It's just when to use them. You don't want to use chrome often on an impact when you can. There's an exception, and I will tell you, a lot of you guys will grill me for it. When you have cars that are really rusty, I worked on a Suzuki yesterday. Very rusty car. You're gonna see the video on that car later. It's a very rusty car. But anyway, sometimes when you have to hammer a socket onto a very rusted bolt, impact sockets don't grip them as nicely as chrome sockets do. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a chrome socket, I'll put an adapter on it, whatever. I'll hammer that baby on. Chrome sockets are very thin walled, so they grip onto rusted fasteners a lot better than the bulky impact sockets. So it's nice to have chrome sockets on rusted fasteners on an impact if you are going to do it. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend using chrome with impact for certain scenarios, because chrome can break and shatter and become a projectile. So be very aware, but always use chromoly sockets, And yes, chrome sockets are very good for tight places too, my fucking my buddy. Yeah, I don't have the stubby socket. I am a brokey. I do not have the stubby impact sockets. I mean impact. Okay, so the Milwaukee stubby impact is one of the best impacts I could definitely recommend you guys. It's the best bang for your buck, and it's actually not that expensive. So I highly recommend you guys getting it. Do I have it? No, I'm too broke. I'm broke. I just don't want to buy it, I really don't. I just get lazy and I don't want to buy certain tools because I've lived without it, so I don't need it, you know what I mean? So I do that a lot. Of course you wanted me to read it out loud. So anyway, let's go to the next what's it called? Let me go to the next question. Andrew Train said, nice computer. I see you're a gamer. If so, what games do you like? I game here and there. I game here and there. So mainly it's for editing and gaming and whatever's both. But I love Forza Horizon 5. Absolutely my favorite game to play. Fragpunk's a good one, yes. My brother texted Fragpunk. Fragpunk is a really good game to play. Also, but I love, and I mean love, playing Forza Horizon 5. It's my favorite game. I love modifying the cars in there. I love racing in there. I go onto the mountain pass in Forza Horizon Pass and just like race with my buddy. It's really fun. So if you guys, I don't remember the specs off the top of my head, but I think I've right now I upgraded to 64 gigabytes of RAM. So there's that. I'm more with cars. I know some stats about it, but the top of my head. I don't really remember, but it does have upgraded it from the 16 gigabytes of RAM to 64 gigabytes of RAM right now. But yeah, I love Forza Horizon 5. If you guys want to game, let me know in the comments below. If you ever want to game, we'll game and stuff, you know, on Forza and stuff. You can leave comments on other videos. Like I posted a video about this live stream. Leave comments on that video, on that short. And then I can get back to you, you know. But you can leave comments here too as well, you know what I mean? But all right, let's go to the next question. Nice. All right, I love these comments, guys. Thanks for the comments. You know, keep them coming in. Again, I'm gonna try to get to as many comments as I can. You know, so bear with me. It's a lot of comments. Some comments topple over others, so you might have to re-comment it. So again, I'm really sorry, you guys, if that happens. Okay, what's my recommendation for click type? Okay, let me see. Sorry. So what's my recommendation for click type torque wrenches? He was thinking about the 3-piece Tecton set. Now, the torque wrenches. I love torque wrenches. I used to have a Macro one. That one was a really good one. One that I highly recommend. And listen here, guys. It's rebranded by a lot of different people. And you can get it from different companies. Also Tools. Capri Tools. Harbor Freight. And I think even Snap-on. They all four of them, I believe, use the same exact supplier. And it's this flex head click type ratchet. Those ones are, ratchet, click type torque wrench. Really nice. And it's around $100, $100 to $150. Worth every penny. I want to get it. Oh, my buddy's here. I want to get this thing, but I've been postponing getting the torque wrench. But again, Capri Tools, also Tools, Harbor Freight, and Snap-on. So all the same, pretty much the same style flex head, click type one, and it's awesome because you adjust the dial, you turn it, and then boom, it's like ready to go. It's good to go, you know. So I like it. It's really nice. Oh, actually, it's a split beam. I'm thinking it's not a click style. It's a split beam. So also Tools, Capri Tools, Snap-on, and Harbor Freight do a split beam, and that's the best. Highly recommend. It's $150. Highly recommend. But when it comes to Tecton has a good amount of tools. I haven't used a lot of them. I've used, I believe, one of their tools back then. But Tecton's a good company. I'd recommend getting them. You know, clicks, a lot of, most of their, like, I've seen good things about Tecton, and I see a lot of people recommending them on the tools videos that I do. So, you know, I think Tecton's a good brand to go with and try. You know, worst case scenario, you know, if it's on Amazon, you can return it. You know what I mean? So just go ahead and try it, you know. But yeah, so, all right, let me go to the next question. Yeah, I definitely got to get a flex head ratchet from Macro. I love those ones. Yeah, they sell split beam torque wrenches, guys. They're split beam torque wrenches, and I think it's split beam. I forgot off the top of my head. I might have to Google it because I don't remember. But there's essentially, it's not a regular click stop type where it's like a dial. It's a split beam. So there's a knob, you adjust it, whatever, you lock in it, and then you click it. So it's a split beam click torque wrench. If you guys know the name by heart, tell me in the comments below. All right, let me check the next question. Okay, so Buddy has a 2006 Mustang V6 with a rear timing chain problem. What do you recommend? Pull the engine or fix in vehicle? Now, if it's a timing chain, you can fix in vehicle because that's a rear-wheel drive car. It's a GT, and it's mounted this way, like horizontal, vertical. I forgot the orientation, but it's easy to access. So I'd say fix in the vehicle. It'd be way easier to fixing in the vehicle. I mean, not way easier, but it's gonna be way quicker fixing in the vehicle. You can also pull it on those Mustangs. They're not too hard to pull, but it's also a lot more work. The harness is easily disconnectable, but again, it's a lot more work. All that yada yada. I wouldn't pull off the engine. I feel like that's drastic. I wouldn't go that route. I'd say fix that in house in the car. However, if it gives you that much of a pain in the butt, then, just pull it out. But I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, personally, I try to work in the car as much as I can. If I have to take it out, then I'll do it. If you're on time restraint, fix it in. If you're not on time restraint, pull it out, So let's go. Oh my God. All right, so the actor O2. My girl keeps nagging me about working on my car. Should I ditch her or the car? It depends. What car is it? If it's a Type R, nah, I'm joking. But if you're serious, man, tell her your priorities, man. Tell her, cars are my life. Let's work on it together. Like, you guys, it's a no-brainer. Nah, I'm joking, no. But let me check all the other comments. Sorry. This is my first time navigating for this. Hold up. Easy win. Easy win. All right. Nah, she is. All right, so let's check out the comments. Fave, Honda, or Acura of all time? So I'll say two, because I can't pick between the two. So I say, oh damn, I'd say damn, there's a lot. So one of my favorite right now, that my brother has, it's the 2025 Honda Type R. That thing is an absolute beauty. In blue, oh, that thing's beautiful. You guys are gonna see me in it. Wait for it. I'm gonna get it. But Honda Civic Type R 2025, beautiful car. Now, the 1999 Honda Civic Si, beautiful car as well. I had that car. It wasn't the Si, it was the EX. Awesome car. It's a coupe. Awesome car. Handles like it's on rails. Really freaking amazing, cool car. But that's one of my favorite Honda and Acuras, I want to say. The Si and the Type R, absolutely one of my favorite cars. Do I know how to tune a vehicle? Depends on the car. Not really, like with a lot of electronical ones. I know how to do on like the old school ones, like on carbureted. Like I had a carbureted '89 Corolla that could kind of tune up the carburetor, port and polish the head, do all this cool stuff. I have a Toyota Corolla 4 GE. That one you can't really tune the ECU. You have to drop an aftermarket ECU to tune it. But no, personally, I haven't tuned like software, computer, laptop type stuff. I want to get into it, and that's definitely one of my goals to do later on. To run my own tuning shop for performance cars. That's definitely one of the end goals. Saabs are awesome too. NSX, yeah, NSX. My buddy Chris said that NSX. I do love the NSX as well, but like off the top of my head, as of right now, I really do want a Type R. Let's go. All right. Hey, love from Boston. Thanks, you guys. All right. It is a 2002. All right. So is a 2002 RSX Auto 300K miles worth it for 3K? No. Personally, no. I mean, wait, let me read that comment one more time. Personally, no. 300K is like too much. Personally, let me go back. 300K is too much on a, where is it? On a RSX, especially auto. That's too much, in my opinion. If it's stupid clean, I don't know, man. That's a lot of miles, you know what I mean? If it was well maintained, not really. I don't know. I'd say 2K. 2K, yeah. 15 would be, if you could lowball to 15, go for it. If you can get it for 2K even, and it's stupid clean, the body's clean, it's taken care of, go for it. But 300K is too much. You're gonna have to put, you gotta do work to that car. I mean, yes, those cars can go for a long while. They can go to 400K even if you take care of them. But the problem is a lot of people abuse them up to the 300K mark. So yes, a lot of people say Toyotas can go to 400K or 300K. Hondas can go to 300K. That's if they were well maintained. They have to be maintained well. A lot of people don't maintain their cars well. So if you're getting one for 300K, 3K, no, it's not a good deal, guys. I would avoid it. If you want a fixer-upper, get it, you know? But if you don't want the project, I wouldn't get it. 300K is way too much for... Yeah, 2K tops would be nice. Yeah, 300. Yeah, 300 is good for Toyotas and Hondas. Honestly, Hondas and Toyotas really make it up to that 300K mark easy. Some BMWs, if you take care of it, it'll go way past that as well. You know what I mean? But you got to take care of. It's all about taking care of cars, man. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't take care of cars nowadays, so a lot of it, cars just fuck up. My bad for saying that. All right, so let's read the next comment. Next comment. All right. Okay, best way to remove a Torx or Allen bolt that's stripped. So, a Torx or an Allen bolt that's stripped. There's three different ways. One, you get a RBT, or like the extractor socket for Torx. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. We're not going to talk about that. The next thing that you want to do is get a Torx Plus socket. Torx Plus sockets are a little bit thicker on the ends of it, you know? So with that being said, you can get one of them, tap that baby on, and then it'll really hook onto that stripped Torx, you know? Now, the next thing that you could do is you can get a chisel depending on where it's located. Get a chisel, an air chisel, chisel it out. If it's too tight, you don't want to do that. You're going to ruin the face of it if it's way too tight. You gotta realize what battles you're gonna pick. Is it a very small bolt Torx or very, very big bolt? You gotta realize what it is, and what it connects to. Another thing that you could do is get a bigger size socket and hammer it onto the outside circle of the Torx. That's another one. I have a whole playlist on removing stripped bolts. What scanner do I recommend? I love this comment. So, I have a good amount. I'm gonna make a long form video on scanners that I have to recommend to you guys. But I have a good amount. One of them is Autel. Autel makes really good like software for scan tools. And I have two of them. I gave one to my dad and one I have. Now I'll link it. I'll make a video on it, a long form video. I'll probably make it in a week or two. I'll try to my best to knock it out very quick. But yeah, when it comes to scan tools, Autel makes a really good scan tool. They sell it a lot on TikTok Shop. You can get on the TikTok Shop. You can get it for like, I want to say $300, $200, $350, $400 for like a high quality scan tool that can scan every single computer on the car, like transmission computer, engine computer, TPMS. It could reprogram keys. It could do the HVAC. It could do everything, you know. So I'm gonna do a long form video, you know. So yeah, don't worry about it. So don't worry, I'll make a long form video. Best air compressor for DIY garage. Would like to buy air impact. Already have electric Milwaukee stubby. So best air compressor. I don't have a lot of air compressors, so I wouldn't be able to say. I have a DeWalt at the shop that I'm at. It's nice. I forgot what size it was, but the bigger the size, the better. Obviously that that goes for it, you know. But yeah, I have DeWalt. Harbor Freight's a good one. My buddy has a Harbor Freight one. It's a big compressor. Does awesome. It's a really awesome compressor. So Harbor Freight sells a good amount of them, and DeWalt has them. And Home Depot has good deals sometimes on compressors. So try to find it at the peak season. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the gallon, so I can't really give you a verbatim for you know the gallon. You know what I mean? So. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next question. All right, next question. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to do the best I can. I love to watch you. Wait, what? You? Oh, thanks for all the nice comments, you guys. All right, still. You guys are fighting over cars in the comments. Sheesh. That's hilarious. Honda's awesome. BMW's awesome. Mazda's awesome. Toyota's awesome. All right, guys. No need to find in the comments. All right. Let's keep scrolling. If you guys have questions, try to re-ask them. Maybe it's I know I saw some comments, but they disappeared for questions. So if you have comments, leave them down below. Again, I'm sorry for asking again, but it helps so I don't have to ask. I mean, keep scrolling through all this. Dang. But yeah, let me check some of the comments over here, actually. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, give me time. I'm looking for questions. Would you recommend? What would you? Okay. Would you recommend a newbie like myself to go to school to learn autos? It depends. If you want to be a full-blown mechanic, and you're very serious about being a mechanic, it helps a lot. It definitely helps. It depends on what school you go to. Not all schools are created equal at all. And I mean at all. I wouldn't I went to LTI. It's Lincoln College of Technology. Honestly, it was a really awesome trade school. Awesome trade school. If you guys want, look it up. Really awesome trade school. Now, I highly recommend if you can afford it, if you can do it, if you can, sometimes there's financial aid for it. Sometimes there's scholarships. There's all types of things. They make it affordable. They do payment programs. But if you can afford it, go for the schooling, mechanical schooling. Now, if you're on a budget, if you can't afford to go into mechanical schooling, it's not necessary. You can still learn through plenty of experience. But what I love about trade school is you learn a lot of the fundamentals. So, okay, the reason I love trade school is you learn the fundamentals, the theories, the systems, how it is by book, by paper. This is how the system works. This is how the brake system works. This is how this is. All the fundamentals, all that, you learn great and quick and well in school. Now, don't get me wrong, you learn hands-on stuff right there. They teach you how to rebuild a transmission, an engine. They show you all disassembling and reassembling, all in auto school, that I went to at least, so that you get your hands-on experience too. But what I love from the trade school itself is the fundamentals on learning everything in depth, because the experience, guys, the experience you're going to get when you're on the field, you got to realize trade schools are going to show you, they're going to have you work on cars, but you're going to learn all of it. You're not going to learn just the physical stuff from the trade school. You're going to get a lot of your mechanical, full-blown working on hands-on experience in the actual field. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would highly recommend it. If you could afford it, go for it. Do some research. If it's a really nice, good school that a lot of people like and say good reviews about, go for it. If not, I wouldn't break my neck about it. I wouldn't say put yourself into too much debt over something that the school's that not that great. You know what I mean? So I won't. Let's see. Okay, so how do I fix my leak in my trunk and my Honda Accord, both sides? Can I use caulk? So, I forgot off the top of my head. There's a certain, specialized for trunks. It's essentially like a caulk, or a silicone type of thing that you buy at the auto stores. Do your research. Look on YouTube. I don't remember off the top of my head. My buddy has a Corolla just like mine, and it rusted bad at the rear. He repaired it, and then he put the sealant. So there's essentially a sealing. You left the rubber, and you put the sealant, and you just put all that sealant there. So essentially, it can't come through the thing. So there's this type of sealant that a lot of people use, so water can't get in. Seam sealer. There you go. I was like, what's the name of it, man? Yeah, seam sealer. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So that's the easy way to do it. Let me check the next comments. That's awesome, man. Ric Flair, I'm glad you learned a lot from me on YouTube. All right, so Yeah, apprenticeships is a great option if you're wanting to become work as a mechanic. There's a lot of different avenues that you guys can go when it comes to working on cars. It doesn't just have to be trade school. You know, it could be trade school. It could be apprenticeship. It could be learning hands-on, work on your project car. It could be working on other people's cars, doing side work. You know, you don't know how to do this, you learn as you go. I learned from absolutely every single avenue. So I learned from trade school. I learned from my master mechanic uncle. I learned from my dad who works on cars, you know, and he was one of the first people to teach me how to work on cars. I learned from experience, you know, doing side work for people. I learned on my own cars, you know. Yeah, man, I've been apprentice as well. There's plenty of different avenues to go, so don't just think there's one. Yeah, I used to do mobile. Ric Flair, do you do mobile repair? I used to. I don't do it anymore. I don't have time anymore. But I used to be a mobile mechanic. I used to do it all the time. I replaced engines in parking lots. I've done clutch jobs in parking lots. I've done what else have I done? I've done wiring harness in parking lots, repairs in parking lots. I've done brakes. I've done transmission replacements. I've done a lot of stuff in parking lots. And it wasn't fun. I'll tell you that much. I've rebuilt an engine in a parking lot. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. All right. Let's see what the next comment is. Let's go to the next comment. Conservative sniper hunter. I agree with your comment. If you saw his comment, you saw his comment. Are you going to SEMA again? Ah, my fiance commented. Am I going to SEMA again this year? And she loves what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to SEMA this year, and I'm definitely going to be live streaming when I go to SEMA. I'm going to try to do a long form video for that that occasion, and I'm going to plan it out a little bit more. You know, because last time I was just like very overwhelmed. I'm like, let me just live stream. I don't know what video to do. This is very overwhelming, but I'm definitely going to SEMA. Thanks for commenting. Beautiful. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, guys. Oh, that was messed up. Okay, sorry. Let me see. Comments. All right, guys, go ahead and keep dropping down the comments down below. I'll look at the most recent comments. But okay, Sheev4444 bought a bunch of tools, starting to learn on how to work on cars. Oh crap. Work on cars, only done oil changes. What's your recommendation on learning DIY mechanic stuff? So if you're starting to work on cars, Chris, so YouTube is like the #1 thing to do. Chris Fix does a lot of long form videos, a lot of user-friendly stuff for beginners to work on cars. He taught me a lot of the stuff that, you know, on how to work on cars in the beginning when I wasn't a mechanic as well. And to this day, he teaches a lot of good stuff. But when it comes to, if you're just starting out, you're a DIY guy, man, YouTube's going to help you drastically. And I mean by a lot. I have a lot of videos too that I put out, that I put into multiple playlists on, you know, strip bolts, how to remove this, how to do this, how to change the clutch, a bunch of different playlists on how to do certain things. But if you're just starting out and you're a DIY person, you bought a bunch of tools, the best way to learn is by doing. So on YouTube, again, look up the videos, get an idea on how it is to, let's say, replace the clutch, whatever job it may be. Look up, before any job that you tackle, look it up on YouTube. If it's not on YouTube, look it up on the forums. Always do that. Like, you want to look up how the car is, how it's going to do, so you have an idea of what you're going to tackle. And then sometimes, guys, you just got to learn as you do. You know, I remember I did my first clutch. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had to get it to work because I had to get to work. You know what I mean? Like, I remember my first engine I had to rebuild. You know what I mean? I had to rebuild it because I had to get to work. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff I learned, I had to do it because I didn't have an option, because I didn't have money, you know? So, yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks to the actor O2. Gearhead Brian is the best. I'm not going to say the first part, but yeah. Thanks, man, Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Again, guys, any comments? Ask them down below. I'm starting to run low on time, so I'll answer a few more questions. We're gonna do 5 more minutes worth of questions, mainly because I gotta pick up my daughter, So I want to keep live streaming, but I gotta go pick up my beautiful daughter. But I'm going to do a live stream next week. I'm most likely gonna do it next Friday as well. So just so you guys know, mark it on your calendar that I'm gonna do a live stream next Friday because you guys liked it. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the live stream. This is awesome, and I'm enjoying it. This is really fun. It's already been an hour and 10 minutes. Like, that's insane. Okay, so let's check it out. Your top 3 favorite tool brands. Top 3 favorite tool brands. So Mac, I love Mac a lot. Mac's really nice, but I don't have enough Mac tools. So I'm going to scratch Mac off the list for now. It is a nice tool brand. Vim Tools. I love Vim Tools. Vim Tools is a really good tool brand. I'm going to do I'll answer that in a sec. Vim Tools is a very good tool brand, and I love using Vim Tools in general. I have a lot of Vim Tools stuff, but it doesn't mean I'm just biased to them. I love their ratchets. It's my favorite thing to use. But another top 3 brand I would recommend is, I'd say, again, Mac. Yeah, Mac's a good brand. They have a lot of quality, like wrenches. They have quality ratchets. They make good impact sockets. My buddy Chris has this set of tools that I want so bad, but I just don't want to cough up the money for it. But Mac makes really good tools. Vim makes great tools. And if I had to say another one, I'd say it's Gear Wrench. Gear Wrench makes a lot of nice tools, and they're very budget friendly. So they're good tools that you can get into if you're a beginner. If you don't want to cough up that much change, get Gear Wrench. Gear Wrench is a really good brand. They're affordable and they're really good, Gear Wrench as well as Capri Tools. Capri Tools is a really good one. And my dad asked where my Snap-on Tools ratchet is, and I have 0 clue. Pockets never empty, cuz. All right. So all data helps a lot. There's this website. I forgot the name. There's some websites that actually help you. I gotta find. I'll make a video on it, you guys. But YouTube is definitely better than all data. All data is good if you have the money or if you have access to it. I can hear a collaboration. Hey guys, hope it helps. Yeah, I definitely would like to collaborate with Chris Fix sometime. That'd be awesome. I can see it happening. Is it worth becoming a mechanic in 2025? It depends. Not flat rate, in my opinion. Don't work as a mechanic flat rate in 2025. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. In my opinion, personally, I do not think it's worth it being flat rate mechanic. But there's exceptions. There's some places that they get a lot of good volume coming in. They have a nice good workflow. They get you work. You get that. It works out in some places. But personally, in my opinion, I never would I do in 2025 would I ever do flat rate as a mechanic. In 2025, no. But hourly, yeah, I would. I would do that. In 2025, I would hourly as a mechanic. I would. Also, though, hourly and being a mobile mechanic, I would do in 2025. But you have to be very adamant on your prices. If you're gonna be a mobile mechanic, set your prices. The prices are your prices. You curate the schedule. You don't let people push you around if you're a mobile mechanic. You got to map this stuff out, and you have to realize stuff's going to go wrong if you're a mobile mechanic. A lot of things break, a lot of things snap. It rains, it snows, it's hot, it's cold, whatever. But I'd say it's definitely worth being a mobile mechanic and hourly mechanic in 2025. Flat rate, not so much, All right, and then I'll answer one more comment because I got to go, okay? Let's answer one more comment. Let's see which one I want to answer. Yeah, it's really cool to catch you guys on live, man. It is really fun. I answered this one as I look for it. Best budget-friendly torque wrench. Again, also tools, Capri Tools, and Harbor Freight, especially Harbor Freight, sells a split beam style torque wrench that's like 150 and under, worth absolutely every penny. and it doesn't uncollaborate really quick. It doesn't. You don't have to collaborate it like that much at all. You know, unlike all the other ones. Um, yeah. Let me look. Hold on. Let's see. I can't. I'm scrolling for all these comments. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just so many comments that's hard to find. Does AutoZone sell T66 Turbo? LOI. I'm asking for my brother Hector. I've heard through the grapevine that they do. That they do. Nah, they actually do sell turbos at AutoZone, but not like aftermarket ones. I know it wasn't a serious comment. But yeah, no problem for all the tips and tricks, guys. I'll answer one more comment because I really want to. Do you think all cars are going to become electric? I feel like they're going down the route that they're going down the route that they are going to become electric. However, we're kind of coming back to like, oh, it's going all electric, and then people are realizing nobody's buying electric. So like we kind of stepped off of it, you know. So I don't think we're ever gonna go like complete all electric, at least as of right now, because it's just you have to implement it into the entire system, and it's just not ideal. You know, it's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. You guys make me want to answer one more comment. Oh my god, because this is really fun. I love going on live with you guys. All right, let's see. One more. Okay. There's got to be one more here. All right, let's see. Okay, last question. Paint, bodywork, or mechanic? Um, okay, so sorry, I'm just reading. All right, paint, bodywork, or mechanic? My father was a mechanic. I mean, a mechanic. He was a painter, a really good painter, and his father was a mechanic. It depends on what you love. I would love to get more into painting cars, but I'm not. You know, I'm not. I don't have as much patience as my dad. Especially with bodywork and painting. I used to paint. Not paint. I used to sand cars and with my dad and do prep work to help him paint cars, and it was really fun. Paint bodywork or mechanic. I want to say mechanic because it's really easy to get into mechanic field with very little, you know, and you can start working on your neighbor's car, on your mom's car. You know, it's really easy to get into it. It takes a lot more to become a really good painter, and you need a lot more experience and stuff to get into it. You know what I mean? So let me look at the comments. All right. I know absolutely nothing on tuning. Yeah, I don't know anything on tuning. At all. I mean, I know some, like, you know, like I have an idea of how it works. Do I know how to, you know, tune everything on the laptop and stuff like that? Not really too much. Tuning's kind of an art. You have to know the car and you have to know what it's capable of. But yeah, I don't know that much about tuning, honestly, in my opinion. Okay, so if you have bolts, Anthony, if you have bolts that are mixed up and you don't know where to go, get like a screwdriver or a screwdriver or a pick like this. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to, let's say that you know that where the bolt threads into, and you're gonna put in this much, right? You put it in. It's, let's say it stops at this part, right? Now you realize you have this much bolt left, right? Now get your other bolts, match it up. And you're like, oh, okay, this is how much thread is here. So this bolt goes into here. And that's how you get, that's actually a good video idea. I'm going to make that video for you guys later. That's a very good video idea. I'm gonna write that down. Thank you for that video tip, you know, because I'm going to write that tip down. How to tell where bolt goes pick. All right, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't know if almost all right. All right, guys. Well, yeah, this is I gotta go pick up my daughter. So thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate all you guys being in this live, and this was really fun to hang out with you guys. This is really awesome. Like, I'm super hyped. You know, I'm gonna go live next week. I'm gonna aim for Friday as well. So be sure. I'm gonna put it out. You know, be sure to notify yourselves and everything. Notify yourself and everything for that. But I'm going to be live streaming next Friday, most likely. So catch me there and keep all, you know, have your questions ready. I'll try to get them answers as much as I can in the next live stream. And I'll try to actually make these live streams even more frequently since you guys enjoy them all. So thanks again for joining me. I'm really blessed and happy to help you guys. And I hope it helps. Didn't think I said that, huh? All right, guys. Take it easy. Again, hope it helps. Woo.